I'm Paul Craig. I'm with the South Florida Audubon Society. We're at our outdoor workshop today at the South Florida Wildlife Center. We're going to be making artificial burrows. That's what I have in my hand. This is what we use to create habitat for the Florida burrowing owl. It's a piece of 6-inch pipe with an irrigation control valve box that's joined together. We cut an arc in the front for the pipe to fit, and we cut an arc in the back so the owls can continue to tunnel once this is buried in the ground. Our materials we're using today is a 14-foot stick of 6-inch sewer pipe. We use sewer pipe instead of water pipe. It's thinner, it's easier to work with, and it's a little less expensive. And we use irrigation control valve box right here. We're going to cut the pipe. We're going to cut the box, join them together to make a new home for the owls. So the first step, we're going to measure our pipe and cut 40-inch segments. $40, $80, $120, and $160. We're going to just eliminate this bell end of the pipe. We won't use that. You notice the pipe is on this special table. This table was designed and built by one of our volunteers, one of our founders, Grant Campbell. He made this table big enough with rollers so that we could turn a pipe, and he put a skill saw on a bevel so that we can cut the pipe. All right, we're ready for our first cut. Okay, so when we made the cut, we had a piece that was uneven, which is no problem. When we take the bottom out of the pipe, we'll be sure to cut this section out so that this little mistake goes away. So we're going to move on to the second cut. And again, a repeat. Normally we would go ahead and cut all 4 pieces out of this pipe, but for the purpose of this demonstration, we're just going to continue with the one pipe that was already cut. We'll take the bottom out of it next. We're going to line up what we want to take off. We want to take this piece off, and we want to take this piece off. So this is going to be the bottom for our cut, right through here. Right through here. Now we rotate it normally between 1/4 and 1/3. We want the opening to be 4 inches. So now we have our pipe cut, it's sectioned off. The pieces that were rough have been eliminated. So now what we're going to do with this pipe, it has sharp edges from where the cuts were. We're going to smooth the edges to make it safe for the volunteers to handle. And the tool we use for that is a MacGyver tool, the Swiss Army knife. Gonna set it on the table here. Okay, and put it at an angle, and we're just gonna run it across the edges. All right, we're smoothing the edges out. Once we get the 2 sides, we'll go to the top and the bottom. Just wanna make sure that this is easy to handle. No one wants to get a cut on their hands. That end's good. And this end's good. This pipe is set, it's ready to go. Now we have to join the pipe to the irrigation control valve box. So we have to make some cuts into this for the pipe to fit. Generally, what we would do, we would put the pipe up next to the box. We would trace the curve of the pipe so that it fits exactly. But I've done that in the past, so I use this instead to trace, and we cut where the hole is on the pipe. There's a hole on opposite sides of the pipe. We're going to cut that hole away. Take the Sharpie and outline right around. This is a different shape. This doesn't curve as the pipe curves. This is for the rear of the control valve box. We're going to make the hole here where the owl can continue to tunnel out of his home. It's the same sides across as the front entrance, but it goes straight down. It doesn't curve around to connect to the pipe. Okay, that's a good rough cut. And we'll cut the back the same way. Okay, so next we need to smooth the edges on the irrigation control valve box, just like we smooth the edges on the pipe. Again, it's a little knife blade. Okay, that looks pretty good. So the next step is we would need to drill holes in the pipe and in the irrigation control valve box so that we can zip tie the two together. Now I'm going to use another irrigation control valve box to get the angle that I want for the pipe. When it's buried in the ground, the pipe will be at an angle coming to the box. So this is a good representation of what it would be like under the ground. So we're going to mark where we're going to drill the pipe and where we're going to drill the valve boxes. You can see about right here on the side, we're going to put a hole there on the box, one on the pipe. Then a zip tie will tie that together. Do the same thing on this side near me. And then on the underside of the pipe, I'm just going to make a line, and then inside the bucket on the underside of the pipe, make a line, and then a hole right underneath. We'll mark a hole. And now we should be ready to drill. So we use our power drill, put a hole right here for the zip tie. And on the opposite side, then on the top, which is here, and another one here. So that's ready. Cut the box. Now just going to make sure those holes are smooth. Okay, that's set. All that's left is to connect it with the zip ties. We'll need 3. 1, 2, 3 zip ties. pipe back into the box. And we run the zip tie into the bucket, out the hole in the pipe. Remember, always have the nut of the zip tie on the outside, or else you'll be turning it over and doing it again. And you just pull it to, not tight yet until we get all three started. Okay. All right, we have all three started. The angle is right. We're going to tighten them up. Not too tight, but just snug. And then I just like to cut off the remaining part of the zip tie. Leave a little bit left on the zip tie in case you ever need to go back with needle nose and pull it a little tighter. Don't cut it right to the nut. All right, and we have an artificial burrow ready to go in the ground, just like we started here, except for one small concern. This irrigation control valve box was donated to us. We generally buy this brand. If you notice, this brand has only one little hole for a bolt to go through, whereas this brand has 3 holes, and when it's buried, dirt could fall through these holes. Easiest fix, duct tape. Duct tape fixes everything. So we're just going to put a piece of duct tape right across these holes, down the side. That takes care of 2 holes. Now we have one more piece here. And that prevents dirt from falling in through the holes. And we have a completed artificial burrow. We've gotten over 400 of these in the ground already. We're coming up somewhere between 450 and 500 that we've put in the ground. So there you have it. We've got an artificial burrow ready to go. That's how to do it. We're going to continue on. We're going to cut the rest of the pipe. We have other pipe we need to do today, and then we'll be set. We're going to go out and install artificial burrows, give the owls more habitat. We're going to save the owls.